Here we go. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I felt like today that some of us, especially since Peggy and Janelle are kind of new anyway, are struggling with a little more of the basics right now. So I felt like maybe talking a little bit about the vital behaviors, what they are, what it means exactly. And then talking a little bit about how to like organize your power hour. Because I know for me, if I don't have like an agenda, I just end up like rambling through Facebook. I'm not very productive. Let's just say that. So I know that when I have a list that I'm working up from of things to check off, I'm just a lot more efficient and effective, and I'm not wasting hours on my computer, which I definitely sometimes do. So does anybody have any questions before we start at all? No, we good? Okay. All right. So does everybody know what the 4 vital behaviors are? Should I quiz you guys?
Invite.
That is one of them. Yes. Angela?
Product of the product.
Product of the product. Janelle?
Personal development.
Personal development. And the 4th one, which they just added, so maybe you guys don't know, is recognition.
I do.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys are so good. I'm feeling so proud right now.
Recognition. Oh.
Recognition. Yes. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on kind of what each of those mean and what you should be doing for those every day. Obviously, all of those are considered part of your power hour, although I kind of feel like being a product of the product is outside of that, because that really is about working out and stuff. And obviously that alone takes, 40 minutes or something. So being a product of the product is probably the most self-explanatory. Drinking your Shakeology every day, doing your workouts every day, eating healthy, that sort of thing. Now, for me, it's not enough to just do those things. You have to be sharing those things regularly, because if people don't see you, I touched on this Monday, but if people don't see you doing that, then they assume you're not doing that. So it's just good. You don't have to, check in every time you work out, but just, routinely including those things as part of what you're posting about just lets people know that you're still out there. You're still working these programs. They're still working for you and that sort of thing. So that's an important one. Next is personal development. We've kind of touched on that since we've, started to kind of do one as a team. Our next one's going to be Eat That Frog. If you guys haven't ordered that audiobook, or if you like the book, whatever. But I'm hoping to start a discussion on Monday over a section of that. So we definitely need to be doing that. But basically reading anything that helps you grow either as a person or as part of your business. So it can be, watching a coaching video on YouTube about, more business oriented stuff. Or obviously, we all have kind of our demons that haunt us from childhood that we're still carrying forward with us. And so just kind of repairing some of those old wounds, reading stuff that will help us with that, things that'll help us stay on track with our nutrition, all kinds of things. Basically anything that fits into that category. You really should be doing 10 minutes a day. I'm more of a kind of big chunk of at time, I'll do like an hour of it a week kind of thing. I do it more all at once kind of person. But on average, basically an hour a week or 10 hours or 10 minutes a day rather, is a good kind of standard. So hopefully we're all doing that. And I need to post more about that, I feel like, as well. I don't really incorporate that into what I post very often. But, people like to have uplifting things to read, and especially if you found a good one that you're really liking, like Karen shared that today, I think. And, that's something valuable to offer people as well. So, and we all need personal development. Okay. Any questions so far? I feel like that's fairly basic
The only
stuff.
thing I want to say on that is I like and I find that helps me is if it's something from a coach, like especially if it's like a Lindsay Stay video. I just love how raw and real she is.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeling like, oh my God, I just don't want to do my power hour, like I will start that and start listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally like gets me in the mood to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that helps
Definitely. No, I agree with that. Starting off your power hour with personal development, it's a really good idea. My problem is when I do that, then I end up like finding more and more. And then I'm like 2 hours into personal development. I'm like, oh, I probably need to invite now. But yeah, I agree, especially, on those days where you're just kind of like, I don't want
Yeah, it helps.
Okay, as far as inviting goes, I feel like we've, talked about this quite a bit recently. It used to be that I didn't include just general outreach in those invites, and I still don't technically, but what I've done is, there's the 5-3-2 rule. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it's kind of a basic general rule of thumb of how many people you should be reaching out to. So you make 5 new connections or 5 invites, I think. Brittany, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Right?
All right.
5 new connections or invites, right?
Connections.
3
Invite.
3 invites and 2 follow-ups with anybody, right?
I think she does for her coaches, but obviously we don't have that kind of a network to do every day. So
yeah,
I say we can put our customers and coaches in that group.
Okay. So, and that's again why Teamsy's so nice, is because it kind of,
yes,
that's where those numbers come from. If you guys have ever noticed, like how many you should be following up with and all that sort of thing. So I think I shared this on Monday, but I haven't been doing as many, formal invites per se as I once was, especially like to people I've never talked to. I definitely don't do that anymore. Yeah. So a good way that I've been deciding who to reach out to, again, I've shared this over and over, but the saved post thing is a great way to make just new connections with people. But as far as people to actually reach out to about either the business opportunity or a challenge group, I love to go back through my posts, especially ones where I talk about something health or fitness related, and just see who's commenting and see who is liking that. And, those are the people that I feel like are watching my health and fitness stuff pretty closely. And so it's almost like they're kind of hinting like, I really am into this, like reach out to me. Like that's how I got Kara, who's in the challenge group now. She had liked something I had posted. I can't remember. And I just decided I'm just going to reach out to her and see what happens. And sure enough, so I have found a lot better response rate as far as actual invites go when I'm directing them towards either people that have, been interested in a challenge group before. But even then, usually those people kind of, if they didn't respond before, they tend to not really respond now. So focusing on the people that really are obviously watching your health and fitness stuff is a good, it's been a good method for me at least. So does anybody have any questions about inviting, Angela?
I actually took your advice and started paying attention since Monday on who was liking and commenting. And I've reached out to those people the last couple of days, and I've gotten a great response. Not now, but it's super promising.
Yes.
I really appreciated it. So
yes,
that works.
Yes. Good.
I did it.
Good. I like that. It really, if they're commenting or liking something health and fitness related, there's something about them that connects with you about that specifically. So that is something to really, really pay attention to.
And oh my God, probably I would say probably 80% of the people that have liked or commented are all grandmothers. Remember when I said Monday, I'm too
Mhm.
old, blah, blah, blah.
And you were having
yeah,
the poor
no.
me's. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Like, that's who you're going to attract. There
Yeah.
are people your age that are like, oh my gosh, if this woman can do it, maybe I could too.
Right.
That's how anybody connects with us, you guys. Like, people look at me and they think, oh, you know, she's had 5 kids. She, you know, she can do it. You know, Peggy, she likes to swim in the pool with her helmet. I do too. I can do it. You know, I mean, there's just something we all have something unique to offer people. So never ever think that you don't, because it's just not the case. So that's awesome, Angela. I'm very happy to hear that.
Good
I'm
job.
glad to see you smiling and in a better place today.
Me too.
Okay. Any other questions about inviting? You know, anything about it? Anything you know, you're still confused about, or?
I just guess I'm not ready yet to go there.
Yeah.
I have a lot of response still from just my 2 posts I've made that I'm working on all those.
And that's why, honestly, Peggy, that's why I say I'm not inviting per se as much as I have in the past, because I have been connecting and having responses from people from all kinds of avenues. So I think that's perfectly reasonable, you know, to say I have as much as I can handle right now. And the thing I don't want anybody to do is to sit there and think, okay, well, I need, you know, 4 SC points, and I have 2 people that have said they're interested, and then you just sit around waiting for them to like pull the trigger. Because I can promise you, not everybody that's interested will end up following through. That's just the nature of people. So that's one thing I do caution against, is not, you know, deciding that you have enough going on if people aren't actually, you know, following through with things. So that is one thing to kind of be careful of. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Glad to see you. You don't always get on this early.
I know I have a sub for me
Oh.
tonight at the studio.
Nice.
So,
Well, it's very nice to see you not cleaning up your studio. So,
yeah.
So we're just talking about the vital behaviors right now, Heather. You obviously probably, you know those, but I feel like just as a team, I feel like we kind of needed to get back to just some more basic, like getting back to the basics and remembering kind of how the whole process works. Because I think a lot of times we can get kind of lose sight of that. And if we just simplify things to where they don't seem so overwhelming, then we just, you know, go through the steps and things start working better for us all. So, okay. Any other questions about inviting?
So I feel like I've been getting to the point where, I mean, I'm inviting almost everyone I know that I have access to, people I don't really know. And it's surprising, actually, the people that I don't know as well are the ones who are responding more. So kind of surprised me. But I've gotten like 3 or 4 people now that are like, I've sent them the email from Coach Mobile. Like, they said they want to do it. They picked out a Shakeology flavor, everything. And they're not buying it. I don't know.
Okay. One question I have for you. Did you discuss the price with them before sending a link? Like, they're aware of how much it's going to cost them? Because I'm going to be real honest. That was one dumb thing that I was doing for a while. I was like, they didn't ask about the price, so obviously they don't care about the price. Like, that's just dumb. Everyone cares about the price.
Things that I bring up, because I tell them, like, I've actually been using it to push 21 Day Fix, because I'm like, hey, you know, I would highly suggest 21 Day Fix or 21 Day Fix Extreme, and it's actually on sale right now for $140. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And like, they know, right? They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I will, just a tip in general with inviting. Are you, when you're, initially reaching out to them, is your first step to kind of talk about them and their goals and what they're struggling with and that sort of thing?
Kind of. So what I do is I ask them, I sent out a ton of personal invites on Facebook, Facebook Messenger, and it was kind of like a blanket invite, but I put personal things into each one of them. It was basically saying like, hey, I've got this new challenge group coming up post-holiday. I think that you would really enjoy it. I think, I love the challenge groups. They've made a big difference for me, and I just wanted to personally invite you to join this one with me and let me know if you're interested or whatever. And I'll try to leave it with a question so that they'll, and then some of them will write back and say, oh, not right now. But the ones who are like ready to go, we're writing back like, oh yeah, I'm totally interested. I've seen your pictures. You look like you're doing really good, blah, blah, blah. But I just don't, so they'll say all these things, but I just don't know, like,
okay,
they're writing all the way up until, and I don't want to be writing them like, hey, how come you didn't sign up?
Yeah. So here's go ahead, Peggy. What are you saying?
Well, have you looked at their status? Are they still in just the sent file, or did they start their thing?
One of them did start, but the other three are literally just sitting in the sent.
Yeah, so some people may just be busy. I know for me personally, a lot of people kind of like to wait till the weekend when they don't have so much going on and they sign up. But here's the way I do it, Janelle, and you can try this. I've read it, and these people that are smarter than me about stuff like this. So the reason we ask kind of about their goals and what they're struggling with kind of right off the bat is because, first of all, it gets them to kind of verbalize what they're struggling with so that you can then come back with, well, here's something that I have that I think will help you with whatever it is they're struggling with. Like, it makes it appear that you're customizing a program just for them and picking it out specifically for them and what they need. And since I've switched to that kind of approach, it seems to people feel like I'm focused specifically on them. Does that make sense? As opposed to just saying, hey, 21 Day Fix is on sale this month. Like, that seems like a much more generic and less tailored program choice for people. But the other reason to get them to talk about their goals is you can just keep reiterating that I think this will be a great program to help you reach your goals. Like, you just keep reminding them about the goals they shared with you and the struggles they've had. This will help you overcome your struggles, things like that. It just helps kind of keep that in their mind that, yes, I have these goals. This is what I want to work on, and go from there. As far as the follow-up goes, so when I send a link, I immediately, I will then say, okay, link sent, do me a favor and make sure that you received it okay. Because sometimes Coach Mobile is wacky and they don't get it or whatever. So you're at least verifying that they have the email and have seen it. Because sometimes that is an issue. And so that way you're not just sitting there wondering, oh my gosh, what happened? And then once they come back with me, yep, I got it. I say, perfect, give it a look. If you're ready to sign up, go ahead and you can use that same link. Otherwise, I'll check in with you tomorrow to make sure you don't have any last minute questions before you complete your enrollment, that kind of thing. So you're basically setting up for the fact that you're going to be checking back in with them so that you don't feel like you're being a pest necessarily. And it's more like just making sure that, you're meeting their needs and they don't have any questions. So maybe tweaking things a little bit like that might help a little bit. But honestly, there are just people that are all gung-ho. And then I have one girl, she was like super gung-ho excited. And now I can't even get her to respond to anything. It's like,
And Janelle, I want to say that 7 to 10 times of follow up for me is happening after I actually send that invoice now.
Okay.
So I'm literally checking in probably 4 or 5 times after.
Yes, and I am doing the exact same thing because, and somebody, I think Heather was talking about following up and feeling like you're being a pest. People do not feel like you're being a pest. Like, it's honestly reminding them. Like, I just think about the way I am, and if I don't do something immediately, I literally forget about it I could forget about it for a week until I think about it again. So checking in with them is just like oh yeah, I need to complete that. Or, they know that you care enough to not just, okay, I want you to buy this stuff, and if you don't, you're like dead to me kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, just continuing to follow up. I follow up at least 2 to 3 times. Like, boom, boom, boom.
You're supposed to try
to make sure they don't need something. Peggy, you're dying to speak. Go, Peggy, go. Is that a swan behind you?
Oh, yeah. We blew up a swan today. I just want to make sure the person who started their application, make sure to follow up with them, because if they did it on their cell phone, I'm just having people with so much trouble doing that, and I forgot to tell them to make sure they do it on their computer. But that's what happened with my girl. Is I kept looking in there, and it said she started it, and she started it. So I thought, okay, that's when I said Success Club 8 or whatever, because I just thought for sure it was going through, and then it just never did. And she's yet to sign up, but she's having a lot of kidney problems and things. So there's a reason I checked in with her
Yeah,
today.
I've also learned not to count my eggs before they're in the basket or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because it never fails. As soon as I do that, the person is never to be heard from again. So, but don't be discouraged, Janelle. It doesn't mean that they're not going to, but I definitely, at the maximum, 2 days after I send an invoice, you need to send a follow-up. Like, hey, and I always just say, hey, so-and-so, just doing just doing some follow-ups and wanted to check in to see, this is how I work, to see if you had any questions before you complete your enrollment. Any last-minute questions before you complete your enrollment, ? And people will almost always respond back to me, no, just waiting they'll at least give you an update for like what they're waiting on. Or, a lot of people will say, had a crazy week, just waiting till I'm off this weekend, or, things like that. So I don't think it's a pest. You're not saying like, hey, well, buy this. Like, why haven't you bought this yet? You know what I mean? Like, there's just a way to follow up that lets people know that you're just excited. Oh, I also include that too. Like, so excited for you to join us. That was something else that somebody said recently that it's really stuck with me, is speaking to people as if they are definitely going to be joining your group or going to join your team. Like, speaking as if like it's a foregone conclusion that of course they're going to, because it's this awesome thing to be a part of. So using like words that say, I'm so excited, can't wait for you to join us. It's going to be such a great group you're going to be a part of, things like that. Like, using really affirmative language with people also has been working really well for me as well. So there's kind of like almost a psychology to it, I guess, but it's been working really well for me. So just definitely follow up, Janelle, because what you don't want to have happen is basically letting that excitement they had in whatever moment that they were talking to you. You don't want that to just fade away back into complacency. So just, express your excitement for them joining you and just keep following up. Does that make sense?
And the last thing I want to say is I do not stop. Like, if we've gotten to the point where I'm sending an invoice, I will not stop messaging them until they tell me to. Because, I mean, that's a hot lead.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe is once a week overkill? I don't think so.
Yeah. If somebody's gone through with asking for an invoice, then they're like right there. So
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about being a pest because I do say that, and I tell them that I'm going to follow up with them, ask them if they have any questions, all of that. So it's not like it would be unexpected if I follow up with them. I don't feel like that. I just feel like, I mean, which you guys answered. I was just wondering, like, how much am I supposed to follow up with them before it's okay, this was a dud? But
I do it, honestly, invoice sent, and I'm following up the next day, the next day, the next day. Like, no more than two days in there. Like, I'm just continuing to follow up until basically the group is starting. And then I'll just reapproach it for the next group, you know, like, so.
Driver time.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions about inviting before we move on? I don't really feel like we need to talk about recognition so much. Like, it's kind of self-evident. Like, once you start building your team and have business builders, like, recognizing their efforts in some way is a really big deal. But I feel like that's not something we really need to touch on. Okay. So before we move on, any questions at all about any of the vital behaviors? Heather, did you have any, since you missed the first part? We talked about personal development and
No, nothing that pops into my head. I love the personal development. I do that every day. I'm doing my follow-ups now every day. I'm making myself do follow-ups, and inviting quite a few people, because I've been chatting with a lot of people who joined my meal prep 101.
Yeah.
So I've been chatting with a lot of those people, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, making new friends.
I was saying that I don't really share about my personal development, but I think that's a good thing to post about, like, you know, once a week, because I think that gives people, you know, just another little nugget of something they can do to better their lives, especially if you found one that you're really enjoying. You know, share that with people. I think people really like that, and it's just another way to connect with people, you know, which is really all we're trying to do. So
what if it's a book on network marketing?
Yeah, maybe not that one.
Maybe not.
Hey, you Jamberry lady, you should totally read this. So you can annoy me less with your stupid stick-on nails. All right, sweet. All right. Okay, so Power Hour, guys. Again, it's really just an hour a day that you're focusing on your business, but organizing it into tasks and checking those off is really the most effective way to do this. I know Brittany and I at the last Super Sunday, Brandy Botts shared kind of she has these little things, you can't read them, but she has like a monthly action plan, a weekly action plan, and then a daily one. So I'm just going to share the daily one. Some of the things she puts on there. She has a lot of like positive affirmation stuff, like, today I'm proud of myself and my strong body for, like, I skipped that part, I'm not gonna lie. So the other stuff that's the important stuff though. So she has a box for 3 must happens, like today, like just super important tasks for your day. Fill that in. Then there's a thing for your posts. She has 5 spots. I'm posting like twice a day max, guys. Like, I just feel like less is more in this case. And what you don't want to have happen is have people that are just tired of seeing your face in their feed. So I personally try to just limit it to, you know, once or twice a day for me. 3, totally the max. Like, that's it. But anyway, just again, making sure that you're posting regularly, you know, it's a good way to kind of write that down. But specifically for her Power Hour, she has a bunch of things listed that I think are great. And this is kind of how I've started implementing several of these different things. The first thing she has on there is check your coach online office. It's really important. I wasn't in this habit very often, especially when I really didn't have much going on in my business. But I check it every day, multiple times a day. You want to make sure, you know, you're you see if you got a lead in there that you need to contact, or you have, a customer that ordered something, you want to follow up with that, and just there's all kinds of stuff to follow up with in there. But just getting in the habit of checking that at least a few times a week, especially once you start building your team. You want to know if somebody's about to go inactive, and that's going to affect your, rank and all kinds of stuff. There's definitely a lot of things to really kind of look at in there. So that's one thing. Training. Oh, this is talking about coach training. We're not really doing that. But making sure also that you're checking in with your challenge group. I think we all do that very well, so that's not a real issue. But, that's one of the list of to-do things. Replying to your commenters and likers, just following up again, like we talked about before, with the people that are liking your stuff. Those are really, really, I feel like they're warm market, at least. Like there's something about your fitness journey that they're excited about. So definitely always, reply to them, and even send a private message based on, depending on what they've said, or, whatever. Going through and commenting on people's posts, I just kind of do it willy-nilly, but again, it's just a way to start engaging with people. But I personally have changed that into the saved post and then sending them a private message about a post they've made, or, that type of thing. I feel like it's just one step further in kind of establishing, a dialogue, at least with people. So that's what I've been doing there. Reaching out to just prospects, hey, what's up kind of messages. I really like this one, 3 messages of encouragement a day. I try to do that, honestly, to a lot of people, if they're getting started with their fitness journey and they've checked in at the gym or something, I like to send that. Really anything. I like to send things for, people who post about their dad sick, or, just things that let people, you care enough to send them a message. They're like, I don't even really know you, but you took time out of your day to, tell me that you're thinking of me or praying for me or whatever. And that really just, that touches people a lot. And another thing I like to do is sending messages to people that I just feel are really positive in my newsfeed, because there's so much negative out there. Like, I just like to reach out to them and just basically thank them for being, such a positive presence. And people, like, that makes people's day. I've had so many people tell me that you just made my day by just sending this simple little message. So I like to do that too. Then the other stuff is adding to your friends list. Is everybody doing that routinely? Clicking on your mutual friend thing and adding people. I honestly do more than 3 a day. Every time I'm on Facebook and that little suggested friends bar shows up in my thing, I'm sending out 3 at a time. So I probably send out 10 a day. So that's important. Obviously inviting. She has inviting 3 to the challenge group a day and inviting 3 to the coaching opportunity a day. Now, I definitely don't probably do 3 coaching, but I am trying to do at least 1. And how I've been approaching, because inviting to the coaching opportunity is totally different, and it's kind of a little more scary, at least for me. So I've really been focusing on people that either are really passionate about health and fitness already, and, post about it and that sort of thing. Or again, these people that are just really positive people. Those are the people that I've been reaching out to recently. And, I've at least had people agree to have a phone call with me. So I figure it's at least a good place to start. So, and then your follow-ups. So, and then obviously you also need time in there to check messages and notifications and stuff like that to follow up with people. But that's kind of it in a nutshell. And again, if you can have this list in front of you of things to do and just check them off as you go, it will prevent you from doing like I do so many times, and I'm just mindlessly scrolling through Facebook. It's like, my gosh, I just wasted an hour of my time doing that. So does anybody have any questions about that at all? Is that helpful? I hope. I don't know. feel like sometimes I'm just rambling. Okay, anything anybody has been struggling with or wants to celebrate and be excited about? Or Heather, how have you been? I know you've had a rough, week.
Well, what happened is I canceled all the people that wanted to be canceled, and then they got emails from Beachbody saying, we need your social insurance number so we can cancel you. So I just said, just ignore that and see what happens. See if your Shakeology keeps coming and it's still at 130.
Yeah, that's
it's
weird.
So weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
give us the stuff if you want to be a coach. But if you don't want to be a coach, give us the same stuff.
yeah. And that's the stuff they don't want to give. So,
Hello.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
But
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to get one more. Well, apparently I'm at 6. Brittany says I'm at 6, but I thought I was at 4. But I need one more to be able to go.
I just checked it again. It's at 4 now.
It is. Okay. Yeah. Because I checked it this morning too. Yeah. I've got one person on the Scent thing from the Coach Mobile thing. And I've been in touch with her quite a bit, and she's ready to do it, but she's in the middle of a big move right now. So I'm trying not to bug her too much because she's really stressed right now with the move, but I also kind of want to put the push on her. So what I'm doing is I'm just telling her, it's on special until the day of June. So I just want to make sure you get that deal sort of thing. And that seems to go over well. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've had a lot of people moving recently, I guess, obviously because it's the summer. And like these people are crazy enough, like in the middle of moving, they're like, oh yeah, I want to do this. And then I'm like, no, you don't. Like, I don't even know why I'm saying you do, because this is not going to go well. So of course it hasn't. I'm hoping they will at least like down the road actually do it. But like people aren't very self-aware sometimes. Let me tell you, moving is not the time to start a new health and fitness routine. I can promise you that. So, anyway, any questions about, like who to reach out to? My son and daughter, Becca. Probably. Were you supposed to be in bed? I don't know. Sorry. Any questions at all?
I do have one question, but I think I know the answer.
Okay, go for it. It's okay.
Why do we change challenge groups?
I didn't get that at all.
Why do we change challenge? Just.
I can't hear you, Peggy.
I'm sorry. I'm about to get stung by a bee.
That's all right.
I'm highly allergic to bees.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you were just cutting out.
Probably because I was screaming.
Okay. Ask again.
Why do we keep changing challenge groups? Is it just so that you have something new to say is starting to invite to?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And because honestly, if you kept the same people in the same group, it gets very stagnant because people don't indefinitely interact in these groups. So I made that mistake in the very beginning. I was just trying to have everybody in my Food Fight Fitness group, and it was a complete and utter disaster. So yes, you want fresh people that are newly excited and they're posting and they're gung-ho, and you just want that engagement and excitement and just that energy in there. So that's why we do just monthly. And it is something that has a specific start date that you can invite people to that kind of motivates them, like, this is the day I'm going to start. I need to order my stuff, that sort of thing. So if you just have an ongoing group, then there's no real like nudge to actually do something. So that's why. Plus we like to change the theme. Different themes kind of speak to different people. Like I said, I've been having a ton of luck with this whole after the holiday refresh kind of idea, because people love the idea of, I'm going to eat horribly for the next week and then I'm just going to fix it all with a refresh. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, but people love that. So
Okay, thank you.
So, yep. Okay, anybody else? No? All right, well, I think I'm out. Britt, did you have anything else that you wanted to add to anything?
Nope. I just feel like things are getting so much easier for me, and I really tried to reinvent the wheel for 3 years. And we all tried different things, and I think we've got it down. I mean, I feel like I can't even keep up with inviting right now because I've made so many connections in the past 60 days that messages are just like, I'm like not posting anything fabulous, you know, but those connections are there and people are watching that we're still here, we're credible. And I just think this is the way. Like, those connections are probably even more important than an actual invite.
I could not agree with you more, honestly. Like, I feel like since we switched to really focusing on connecting with people just as people, like, it's made such a huge difference in my business. And it's not like my business was hurting by any means, but I feel like I'm working much less hard now than I was before to find the people. Like, it's just becoming more effortless, less stressful. Like, it's just, I just feel like it's all starting to fall into place, and it's kind of been amazing. So I could not agree more. And again, obviously, you guys, Brittany and I have been doing this a lot longer than every single one of you. So some of that is because we've been in people, you know, we've been around for a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever. So it's not going to come as easily to you guys just yet, most likely, but it's at least encouraging that it's going to get there. And if you just keep doing these little steps and things every day, it really, it's just incredible to me. So, I mean, I feel like Heather has a little bit of a leg up because obviously she's super credible because she's like, you know, legit lady with a, you know,
amazing
studio and all that stuff. And she's like, I want your quads so bad. So anyway, but you know what I'm saying, you guys, like, the longer you do this, as long as you are around and continue to do this, it just gets easier. I even feel like for Angela, like, things are starting to like click and fall into place. And she's been consistent enough over the past few months that people are watching and taking note, and like, things will just start happening easier and easier. But we've also all been where, you know, especially you, Janelle, where you feel like, I'm sending out all these invites, and, you know, like, that's where we've all been. Like, that's how you start, you know, you just have to, you know, reach out to the people that you can right now, and it's all seeds planted. So just keep it up. You guys are awesome. I love our team.
I've always just looked at this business like I'm living it anyways. Like, each of us wants to work out and eat healthy anyways. So, I mean, it's not like we
Yes,
have to
Peggy.
do these awful tasks, you know? We're just building a business, doing what we love. So,
yeah.
I think I finally understand that there's just a natural progression of how things work. We've always, all the stages everybody talks about, we've all been there at any given time, and there's just a natural progression. And after Monday's call, when I was such a sap sack, I took your advice, it's been different. So bravo.
We all get in a funk. I mean, honestly, like, it happens to everybody. I know Heather had to have been in a funk over the craziest that happened to her, but you just have to find a way to pull yourself out of the funk, you know, like,
right.
You just gotta believe in yourself and keep plugging away. So,
yep.
Anyway. Okay, Peggy.
I have a request.
Yes.
Like, I don't know when, maybe in the preseason or maybe even after the July thing starts. I just was wondering if the coaches would consider posting their before and after pictures so people could see them, because I don't think I've seen everybody's before and after. And I think it's just a really helpful thing to inspire the new people.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
I agree. My problem is I don't have a super recent one.
Who cares? Fake it till you make it. You have a good transformation.
Yeah. So, I mean, the one I share is, I don't know how many months old, but it's my
Sorry?
best.
Fix it. You got all this time now. You can fix it before then.
Yeah.
You want this in the new group, you're saying?
Or now. I don't care. I just think it's helpful to the new people signing up to see what kind of, why we're doing what we're doing. This is the results that we got.
Okay, so how about for preseason starting on next Monday, we each pick a day and post our...
And a little bit about our stories maybe, or...
Yeah.
Sounds
Are
good to me.
y'all adding, like, when I send an invoice, I add the people to the group. Do y'all do that too?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah,
I've
that
added
could be helpful.
people to this group, and then I told them they'll be added to the new one when it starts. Or am I supposed to be adding them to that one?
Yeah, at this point, I would be adding them to the new one and not the current. Like, I added people on the 20th, which was Monday, right? But I'm no longer adding to the current group. Like, everybody I'm talking to now is for the July 5th group.
Okay.
So I should add them when I send the invoice, not wait till they...
Yes. Because again, like, we're going to be posting stuff in there that will hopefully speak to them if they haven't pulled the trigger yet, or remind them that, oh yeah, I need to pull the trigger. But yes, anybody that you've actually sent an invoice to, add them to the group.
Okay.
And then you just remove them if they don't follow through.
Okay.
But it's another way to kind of be able to follow up with them and say, just wanted to make sure we get your stuff in time. You know, like on Friday, I will be following up with everyone because I want them to have their refresh. Like, a lot of my people are ordering the refresh. So I want to definitely make sure they have that in time. So, okie dokes.
Peggy, if you add your people that are pending to the new one and then we start posting those once a day, that could definitely help. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Yeah, definitely add to the new
I
one.
added a couple of my new ones to this one because it seemed like they wanted to start sooner, like Karen started today.
Yeah, and that's okay. And I do that too, Peggy. Like, if people are itching to go, then I say, you know what, I have a group that's already started, so why don't I add you there, and then I'll just switch you over. So I do that too. It just really depends. But for the most part, I'm waiting to add people to the 5th. At this point, most people are like, no, I'm about to pig out on the 4th of July anyway. Like, I'm not starting now. You know, I mean, it's the honest truth. So, all right. Any last questions before we wrap it up? Yes, we should take a picture, except I don't know how to take a picture. I guess I can just do it with my phone, but then don't I look like because I'm not. Is anybody on their phone that can screenshot?
I can, but I have to do it in multiple things because I only have 4 at one time.
Oh, you can't do gallery view?
You're the only one who has it on your computer.
There we go. Stay.
Okay.
Okay, I got you.
Did you get us all?
No, I got just Peggy.
Oh.
What?
Yes. Please send me that picture.
Okay, I'll do it. Hold on. Ready?
Yes.
Wait.
Okay. Who cares? I have earbuds.
All right, except it puts me on twice. That's kind of gay. Is anybody on a computer that can screenshot or no?
I don't know how to screenshot from a computer. Does anybody?
Do you have a Windows or a Mac?
Mac.
Yes, but I can't remember what it is. It's like Control Shift 4.
4 or
Make
F4?
that up.
I think it's 4. It might be F4.
I wouldn't listen to the lady in the helmet.
That is not working at all.
You get a little plus sign will come up in the corner, and then you drag it to cover whatever you want to screenshot.
No,
So
that's a lie, Peggy. It's a lie.
It's not.
That did not happen. I just tried it.
Okay, there's 2
Okay,
buttons down below. One's control and one's something else. Maybe it's
I
the
have
I'm telling you, I tried it all. You're going to make me explode my computer. Okay.
I've done that fast.
Can anyone do this? Huh?
Angela?
I'm trying. It's not working.
Are you on an iPad, Angela?
Yes.
Don't you know how to screenshot?
Oh, wait.
You push the home and the...
But here's my deal is I can only...
Please don't screenshot your boobs.
You can only do 4
I'm
times though.
not.
App.
Oh my God, it's your boobs. We don't want your screenshotted boobs.
I'm not screenshotting my boobs.
Are you screenshotting or not? For the love of the Lord, we got to go.
No. I don't know how to screenshot.
I've got it.
Okay, do it.
I already did.
Oh. Well, you could have warned me. I probably looked ridiculous.
Counted 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
No, you said you were ready. It's cute.
Okay.
Now, Angela's trying to get all beautiful now. It's too late, Angela. You've missed it.
Damn it. You
It's
kept
already
talking
done.
about my boobs.
That's all I kept seeing, and I thought you were screenshotting your boobs. All right.
No.
I think we've passed over the line of
We
craziness.
already passed over the line earlier.
Yes, I know. It's true. Can I just say, since Brian is not on here, I laughed so hard at the speculum shooting. That is
Too far. I think I went too far.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
I blame the drugs.
God, it was so funny. It makes me love you even more, Peggy. I didn't think it was possible, but it is. Every day
I just thought it was amazing. I
oh
mean,
my God. It's
God.
so good. All right, guys. I am off to see my son tomorrow, so I will see you beautiful ladies on Monday.
okay.
All right, bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.